Hello and welcome to the virtual college exploration sessions for all Illinois students. You are in the session right now with Northern Michigan University, and there's a couple of quick housekeeping items. First of all, how do I ask questions? Make sure that you use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenters at any time. Again, use the Q&A. There is no chat because this is a webinar. So use the Q&A to ask questions of the presenters. Please make sure that your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists cannot see and cannot hear you. Feel free to sign up for more sessions. This is just one of many college presentations offered. Check out the schedule at www.iacac.org. All sessions are also being recorded and will be available on the IACAC website in a few days. And with that, I am going to turn it over to Northern Michigan.
Hi guys, welcome.
Oh, you guys share your screen.
I'm going to share my screen here for you. All right, my name is Allison Crowley and I work for Northern. I'm in the Chicago area in the western suburbs, and we're excited to share some information with you tonight. So I'm going to let Sarah start us out, and we will just look forward to visiting with you.
All right. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. My name is Sarah McLean Nelson, and I am also another admissions counselor in the Chicago area. And we'll go ahead and get going. So for those of you that may not be familiar where Northern Michigan University is located, we are in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. So that's straight north from Chicago area. So here it gives you actually a pretty good idea of where we're located. So if you can find Chicago on there where the star is and just follow the arrow all the way north, you'll eventually get to Marquette, Michigan. So we're 3 hours north of Green Bay. That's kind of like the midpoint. But Marquette is a mid-size school in that is about 4 blocks away from Lake Superior. So if you're into the outdoors and that kind of environment, it's an awesome place to be. And as I said, you know, follow the arrow and go all the way north. You're probably thinking, but doesn't it snow a lot? And the answer is yes, but hopefully that doesn't scare you too much. It's a different kind of snow and it's a different kind of fun up there. On average, we do get about 14 feet of snow, but it's a totally different vibe up there. Here in Chicago area, I feel like it snows and it's just traffic and chaos and the snow gets dirty and it's not fun. But up there, you know, we have Marquette, Michigan, or Marquette Mountain, 10 minutes away from campus. So if you are into like snowboarding or skiing, all of that is nearby. We also have tons of different trails where you can go snowshoeing or you can ride the fat tire bikes around the trails. And so there's a lot more fun to do. So in the snow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to share some more info with you here. This is some of the statistics and numbers for you. I honestly think some of these are overwhelming, so I just want to highlight a couple for you. We have 7,600 students enrolled at NMU, so we're considered a medium-sized university. About 96% of our graduates have jobs in their field or they're enrolled in grad school within 6 months of graduation. I think my favorite statistic is this one in the bottom corner, that 91% of our graduates say that they would do it all again. And I just think that says something. The time and money that they've invested, they feel like was worthwhile. They had a great experience at Northern and they would be willing to do it all over again. At Northern, we offer 177 different degree programs, which is a lot. We do have some programs that are similar to what you find at a local community college, but the majority of our programs and students are in our 4-year programs. Our top programs in terms of popularity and things are things like nursing, biology, art and design, criminal justice, education. People think of us a lot for anything relating to the environment because of where we are. We've got a lot of environmental sciences, outdoor recreation, sustainability, even things like zoology, fisheries, wildlife, all that kind of thing. So a pretty wide range of opportunities for students, and the average student these days is changing their major 3 different times. So it is nice that there's a variety of options there for you if you do end up changing your major. Similar to a lot of universities, we're going to ask you to take some general education classes. So if you bring in any AP credits or test credits, you might have those knocked out of the way, but in general, we're going to ask you to take a little bit of everything. If I happen to be a science student, I'm going to have to take some type of art, music, or theater class, but I have a lot of choice in what I do take. We don't require foreign language, and for the most part, the math level we need is very basic. So you really do have a lot of freedom, and you're taking things that you are choosing to take, as well as getting a little bit of a well-rounded education. Some of our key programs I just want to highlight for you. Our Frost facility is our outdoor research facility. It's from our forensics department. It's actually basically a body farm. We are the only location in the world to have a cold weather research facility such as this. And so it gives you some amazing opportunities. I love to tell students, if you are interested in this, you will have a stellar experience. If you are not, you'll never even know it exists. It's not on campus. You're not going to wander into it. In terms of our plant programs, we do have an indoor agriculture program. We also have the nation's first medicinal plant chemistry program that is a study of various plants, but traditionally cannabis and the use of that in different areas of life and fields. And there's an entrepreneurial as well as a clinical side that you can study that. Cyber and robotics, we've got cybersecurity, we have a robotics area. There's a lot of high-tech areas going on. One of my favorite programs in that arena is embedded systems, which is working specifically with the programs and computers that are part of a bigger system. So for instance, all the computer systems that work with vehicles and things like that. So in terms of cancer research, we have a brain tumor center on campus that is available for students to do research. There's quite a bit of interdisciplinary use with various disciplines on campus. So it's not just the science students that get in there. And then finally, our Bear Center is our Autism Awareness Center on campus. We serve the community. And we also have opportunities then for our students to become more aware of what's going on in the world of autism and the treatments and potential causes and things. And so again, it's an interdisciplinary approach, but it's a great opportunity for our students to get some of that real life experience. We would love for you to get some of those hands-on experiences, whether it be an internship or clinical hours. We've got connections with places like the Mayo Clinic. You can do hours and things throughout the town, the community, as well as the nation and the world. But those hands-on experiences we feel like are incredibly valuable in making sure that you know what you enjoy doing and that you are really gifted and understand the equipment and things that you'll be faced with in the real world. We do have a 20-to-1 student to teacher ratio with an average class size of 28. We are very limited in our big classes on campus. We just don't have big lecture halls. It doesn't fit with who we are. We use professors to teach our classes. You will very rarely find a TA. Generally, they're there as a breakout group or in a lab assistant. But the teachers are there because they want to teach. 96% of them have the final degree in whatever their area is. So they've got the master's, the PhD, whatever the case may be. And our average lab size is 15. So it's not going to be too dissimilar to what you may face in high school. We find that students learn better in those type of sizes. It also has the advantage that you don't have to wait to be an upperclassman to get to be hands-on with different machines and things like that. You really, from the beginning, are able to be a part of things. So I'm going to let Sarah talk a little bit more about the financial side of things, and we'll continue to inform you about NMU.
All right, guys. So regarding our cost, we'll go over kind of like the big picture, the annual cost. So if you're looking at the screen in the red box, that's the non-Michigan residents. So that would be you guys for out of state. And the breakdown is for tuition and fees. So that would be, all your classes, and it includes a laptop for students. So that's $17,200 for a whole year. That would include 2 semesters. And then you have your room and board, which is $11,000. So that would be your food, your dorm, your laundry, your Wi-Fi, and your cable. That's included in all of that. So total for everything for a full year, you're looking at about, $28,200. And that does not include any kind of financial aid or scholarships or anything like that. But for out-of-state students, we have specific scholarships that can apply to you. And these are automatically awarded. You basically, once you apply for admissions, you send us your transcripts, you look at your grades, wherever you fall in that criteria, you would automatically get these scholarships. The ones for out of state are these right here. So there's 2 of them. The first one is the National Academic Award, and that's for students that have a 3.0 GPA or higher, and then there's no test score required with this. And then you automatically get $5,600 scholarship right off the bat. This scholarship is what brings your cost, to help you bring your cost from out-of-state to in-state tuition. And then let's say if you're a student that doesn't quite have the 3.0 GPA, but you have somewhere between a 2.25 GPA and a 2.99 GPA, and then no test score required again, we have the NMU Incentive Fund, and that gives you $3,000. So you have 2 options, automatic right off the bat if you don't have, the GPA, but you are an out-of-state student. In addition to that, we have these scholarships, the first-year student scholarships, the Wildcat Achievement Awards, that are not only just for your first year, but also for your freshman year, sophomore, junior, and senior year as well. Same with the other ones that I had just talked about. But there's 5 different levels, levels 1 through 5, and pretty similar to the other ones where, we have a GPA criteria, and some of these also have a test score requirement, but not all do. So let's say, for example, if you are a student that has, a 3.0 GPA, and you have a 1260 SAT, then that means you would be getting a $3,000 scholarship plus the $5,600 scholarship from the previous out-of-state scholarship that we talked about. So that would mean you'd be automatically getting $8,600 between the 2 combined. But let's say if you're a student that, you have, let's say a 3.8 GPA, but you do not have a test score, then you would be getting the $5,600 scholarship plus the $2,000 scholarship that's on here on this screen, because there is no test score required. So, there are opportunities to get scholarships if you don't have a test score, and that's totally okay. But if you do have it, it can help you get a higher scholarship. The other one, in addition to this, is the Presidential Scholar Competition. So this one's a little bit more formal, where you actually have to apply. There's a competition basis, a little bit more of a structure. You have to write an essay. You have to be admitted to the school. And then you basically, in a typical setting, non-COVID times, you would come to campus, you get interviewed by a faculty member, do a group activities, individual activities, that kind of thing. And right now you're still doing that, but we're doing it just virtually. But basically that's how students compete we give away 10 full ride scholarships, 10 full tuition, and about 200 smaller scholarships, which could either be $1,000 or $2,000 for that. The criteria for this, if you have a 3.7 GPA, or you need to have a 3.5 GPA or higher, and a test score of a 1160 SAT or a 24 ACT. But if you don't have the test score, then a 3.7 GPA, and then this would take place your senior year of high school. So if you're a senior right now, the deadlines actually are this month, so just make sure you go to the website on here. But if you're a junior, this is just something to keep in mind for next year if you happen to be interested in Northern and you meet the criteria. Similar with transfer students. So let's say if you graduate high school and you decide to go to community college for a year or 2 or whatever, and then transfer to Northern, We do also offer scholarships for that, but then the criteria is, obviously a little bit different. And then we solely base it off of your college GPA. So we will not be looking at any of your high school stuff. And, if you have anywhere from a 3.0 to a 3.29, you get $1,000, and 3.3 to a 3.49, you get 15, and so on. These scholarships right here can also be added on to the National Academic Award Scholarship, which is the big one that I talked about earlier, the $5,600 scholarship. Okay.
I know that was a lot of information for you guys. And I want to make sure too that we'll circle back and talk a little bit about applying. We don't want you to think that we've forgotten about that part. So
Yes.
let me talk a little bit about what life is like on campus for you. So this is actually one of our main residence hall lobbies. It's called the Lodge. And this is available to students just to hang out in. It's relatively new. They've done an amazing job with it. We do ask freshmen and sophomores to live on campus. We just think that's part of the experience going off to college. For sophomores, there are some on-campus apartments available. For freshmen, you're looking at the residence halls. We will give you a lot of choice in your residence halls. So we have two options. The Woods is a little bit more expensive, but those are our 6 newest halls, and they have things like granite countertops. There are Tempur-Pedic mattresses, ceiling fans. It feels a lot like a hotel setting, I have to say. The laundry will even alert you when it's ready to be moved to the dryer, which has come a long way from when I lived in a college dorm. But it is just absolutely beautiful. You can see this picture over here on the top. And then down at the bottom, the quad is our traditional housing. A couple of things I hear from students about the quad that they really like. One is it's a lot more soundproof because of the thicker walls. The other is that students are allowed to keep their doors propped open at all times, whereas in the Woods, we've got fire issues that we're not allowed to do that with the fire code. And so people feel like in the quad, you get to know your roommates and your hallmates a little bit better than you might in the Woods. All of our rooms are set up as suite style rooms. So this is a drawing from the Woods of what it would look like. So you've got 2 individuals in one room sharing a bathroom with 2 individuals in the other room. This is always either going to be 4 guys or 4 girls, whichever category you fit into. And so you would have your own sink, your own area for your closet, as well as a desk and a bed and a window and all those things. You would share then the bathroom and the shower. And so it's either 4 girls or 4 guys. If you choose to live on a co-ed floor, it would mean that you're living with 4 girls or 4 guys and you're next door to possibly the other gender, or you're across the hall. That's really whatever you're more comfortable with. We give you a lot of freedom. You get to choose your roommate if you'd like. You get to choose your suite mates. You can choose your exact room. So you really do have a lot of say. There are some of these halls that actually these rooms have 4 separate little bedrooms in them. That is not something they encourage for freshmen. They feel like it's really hard to meet people if you can go in and shut your door and shut everyone out. But there are times where that's a better fit for you. And so that is a possibility as well as something you could look at. But we do not have any setups where you're sharing a bathroom with everyone on your hallway or anything like that. Freshmen can bring cars to campus. We have plenty of parking available for students. And we provide students, as Sarah said, with laptops. There is also free laundry and free cable that is available to students. Our meal plan that's included in those costs we talk about is all you can eat. So whenever you're hungry, you get to go grab stuff. This is a dining map on campus. It's also just a nice way to see kind of how the campus is laid out. So we've got our quad over here on the left, and then the Woods looks more like a spider. So those are all the different residence halls. Our main cafeteria is the Northern Lights Dining Center, which is set up like the food court at a mall. So it's got everything from Mongolian barbecue, pizza, pasta, soup, salad, deli, hot dishes. There's always going to be things for vegans, vegetarians, if there's religious adherences at that time of year, things like that, that would be available. We also have an entirely separate area for those with allergies so that you can have to get approved to be able to access that room so that people like myself don't cut a bagel and cross-contaminate without realizing what we're doing and put your health in danger from me just not understanding what you need. So that is available as well. In addition, we give you money on your ID card you can use around campus. We have a bunch of different places available. Starbucks is obviously a really popular one. Melted is my personal favorite. There's 1,300 different grilled cheese combinations. It's amazing what you can put into a grilled cheese that tastes amazing. And so you can kind of see all these different areas. Our campus is only a 10-minute walk from one side to the other. It is very condensed. There are overhead walkways and underground tunnels, so you're not even outside all the time if you don't feel like you need to be. Our rec center over here, we'll talk about in a little bit, and then the water's just on the other side of that. So it is a beautiful location, and it's a really easy campus to get around. So now that we've made you comfortable on campus, we want to encourage you to be a little bit uncomfortable. We're going to push you out of your comfort zone. We strongly encourage you to look at study abroad. That is something that we have opportunities in 55 countries that are set, but we can work with just about anywhere in the world that you want to go, as long as it's safe for you to be there. That's our biggest concern. And so sometimes there's something that matches your interests or your major, and so you're working specifically with that. And sometimes it's simply you've grown up always wanting to go to one certain destination. We have an office on campus, and their job is just to talk through that with you, to help you find the best time for you to be gone for a semester, as well as the best place for you to go. We also would really encourage internships. They are only required for certain majors, but really every student, an internship is an amazing opportunity, both to see if you really like the field that you think you're most interested in, as well as hopefully to get yourself a job offer before you even graduate. So that would be the ideal situation for students, is if we could go ahead and have that lined up for you. I'm going to let Sarah talk a little bit more about this.
Yep. So at Northern, we have tons of opportunities for students to have support on campus. One of the biggest, for example, for incoming freshmen is we have a program called the FYE, which stands for your first year experience program. And basically what that program does is to help you transition from, the high school aspect now to college. So let's say, it could be as for something like connecting with an advisor. If you come in as an undecided student, you still want to kind of explore your options and kind of see what kind of majors are out there and what's available. The FYE program will assist you with that. And also if you wanted to kind of learn more about like study tips, how to transition from studying for a high school test versus the college side. So there's a ton of opportunities for that. But then also know if you are a current high school student and have like an IEP or something of that sort, we have tons of support services available for students in that department as well. Be involved. That's, I think, one of the biggest things I always tell students, no matter where you decide to go, make sure you get involved on campus. At Northern, we have 315 student organizations on campus. So anything from academics to honors clubs, to religious clubs, to special interests, to sports. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone who wants to get involved on campus. And then we have, so I talked about the clubs and organizations, but then there's other ways to get involved too if you wanted to be a little bit more active. So we have Division II with all of our sports, except for men's ice hockey, which is Division I. So those are, the NCAA sports. So those would be the ones where you're getting athletic scholarships to play. You typically get recruited for these sports. But then you also have club sports and then intramural sports. So club would be where you still have to try out. You have to try out to be part of the team, and the club teams compete with other clubs from different universities, but there's no athletic scholarship attached to this. But you still have to train and practice and that kind of thing. And then the intramural sports, those are a little bit more low-key. If you show up to practice, great. If not, that's okay too. So just another way to stay active, make some friends, getting involved without the pressure of, training every day or going to practice and competitions and, all that kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone, depending on what your, your cup of tea is.
All right, and we would love to have you check out that recreation center. You can see the climbing wall. There's a pool, ice rink, racquetball, volleyball, weights, all that kind of thing awaiting you, as well as the outdoor rec center. So we're in this community of Marquette, absolutely beautiful area right along the lake. It does resemble a little bit like a Door County area, if you've ever been up that way, or northern Wisconsin. The community that we're in, and now a lot of you guys have grown up around the Chicago area, or at least in Illinois. We feel a little bit different than it does to be in one of the suburbs or in the city. We are in a smaller city. It's got Target, Walmart, Meijer, the things you're used to, first run movies, restaurants, bowling. There is a mall, there's lots of different hotels and things like that, but it's definitely a different feeling. I am actually in, as I said, the Chicago suburbs. I feel like I could drive later and go to probably 20 different Target stores if I wanted to. It's just kind of endless chaos and stores and things. This is a little bit more of a one type of shop. We've won a lot of awards for being one of the safest communities in the nation. We have also won awards for some of our outdoor activities, like our skiing and snowboarding, mountain biking, things like that. Most recently, we were told we were awarded as a up and coming small city. There's a lot going on in the arts and entertainment industry up there, as well as things like microbreweries and just really neat restaurants and opportunities for students. And they love having our students in town. I think that's really important, to be at a place where they want you to be. They want to hire you. They want to offer discounts. They want your families to come up and visit. And so they will make sure that you feel at home and really feel connected while you're there. Ultimately, we want you to be successful. We want you, as you do, to become the person you want to be able to find the job and field that's right for you, and to train you and have you ready to go. Obviously, on your path to success, your first step is going to be applying. So what happens with our application? There is no deadline. We have an online application. It's easy. There's no essays. There's no letters of recommendation. You send it in to us. You hear back from us within a couple of weeks. In general, we're looking to grow a little bit. We would like to see you have at least a C+ average or better. Our average incoming student does have a B+. And we are actually test blind, which means that we are not even considering your score for the admissions decision. So if you send us a test score, that's fine, but it's not going to factor into your admissions. If you are transferring in, we would like to see you have a B average or better in your, a C average or better in your courses, a B average for that scholarship. So the majority of our students do get the scholarships that help to keep the costs down, that again, open up opportunities for you to continue to be successful. We also offer flat rate tuition, which I think is a help. You can take as many classes as you want up to a certain level, so that you don't have to worry about whether or not you're paying for an extra class hour if you want to take a photography class or a skiing class or whatever the case may be. We've had alums go off to a lot of different areas. In the green box here, you can see some of our alums and where they're at. We think that having the alumni base has some huge advantages for us in terms of internships, in terms of job opportunities and advising. Even though we're a little bit of a smaller school and more of a regional university, we've got people that are working at some big name institutions and organizations. You will find our students' names at the end of Pixar movies. You will find them on Broadway, designing things and at the top of political organizations. There's just a huge variety of opportunities that you can really take advantage of and that we want to make available to you. And I have to keep this slide in just because I love it. It has absolutely no purpose other than that. But before I hand it over to Sarah, I just wanted to make sure I got to show this one.
All right, guys. So with everything going virtual right now, we obviously offer a virtual tour. So this one is actually pretty cool because it's not pre-recorded, it's actually live. So you'll have a student walk you through campus live, and then you can ask for specific questions on the spot. If there's, you know, they walk through something that you're curious what that building is or what that room is for or something like that, you can ask questions to the student right then. You do have to go online and sign up for a specific date and time because they're still being scheduled. If you want, feel free to write this website down, but you can find it on our admissions site. So it's just nmu.edu/admissions/virtual. So be sure to sign up for one of those. And that is pretty much a wrap, huh, Allison? Was there anything else that we might have left out outside of the last slide here with our information? I'd say, definitely if there's something that you would like to meet with us later on for an additional Zoom or go in a little bit more in depth for a specific topic, or if parents have questions or you want to go over scholarships or anything like that, know that we are always available. So here's our contact information, and you can email us, you can call us, text us, whatever works for you guys. If you wanted to get an additional copy of all this information, there's a website on the top left corner here.
Sorry.
Nope, you're fine. On the left corner, that shows you the link where you can go to get additional information if you wanted to get a copy of the scholarship sheet or a presentation or anything like that.
Wanted to make sure too that we just address what's going on currently in the world. Our students are on campus. We have worked very hard for that to happen. They are up there taking classes mostly in person. Some of them are going to be online, but they are there. We are offering some on-campus visits right now. We're very limited in what we're able to offer because of what's going on with the coronavirus, but they are available. In general, if you're going to come up and visit, hotels will give half off and we'll give you a lift ticket. So if you want to ski or snowboard, you are more than welcome to do that. But I definitely think at some point doing an in-person visit is really important. We realize things may be a little skewed right now in terms of when you're able to get up there and things like that. Certainly, if you have any interest in reaching out to one of our coaches, if you go to our website, there is an athletic entry form. There's also a variety of lists of the different coaches and things, so you're welcome to reach out to them. They fully understand that your schedules this year are really thrown off, and that's fine. It's not very typical for anyone. So definitely, we just want to encourage you to continue moving forward with your college search process and let us know how we can be of assistance during that time. We do have a few minutes. If anyone has a question that you wanted to throw out there, we're more than happy to answer it. If not, I think actually I'm going to put Sarah on the spot and ask her to tell you a little bit about one of her favorite places in the community. Sarah, you are on mute.
And what, you can't leave for it? Like, okay, just kidding. That's a bad joke. So my favorite spot in the community, I'd say, anywhere along the lakefront. I love being close to the lake. I live in Chicago, so I do spend a lot of time in Lake Michigan. And so whenever I'm up on campus, obviously I like to kind of hang out by the water. The nice thing is, and I think you might have mentioned this earlier, Allison, but we have a rec center on campus where through them you can rent like kayaks, canoes, paddle boards, camping gear, snowshoes, cross-country skis, all of that. So know that if you want to take advantage of the outdoors and hang out outside and take advantage of that, you can do that without having to bring your own paddle board or your canoe your freshman year and put it in your dorm. How about yours, Al?
I think for me, the little downtown area is definitely a favorite. There's just places that are quaint and locally owned that have a lot of character. And I just love the fact when Sarah and I are visiting campus, we really are visitors. Up there, we stay in the hotels and get to know the people, but it's such a friendly and helpful community. And I really feel like they want what's best for our students, and the university and the community are really tied together, which really benefits everyone. So definitely someplace that is worth checking out and taking time to make a visit. At this point, I don't see any questions that are popping up. So we will probably go ahead and wrap up, but please feel free to reach out to us. You can always go onto our website. There is, during the daytime hours, a chat that is live that you can chat with an admissions counselor immediately from that website. We are doing a variety of different presentations and things at schools. And so, you know, we are available to get to talk with you and to visit with you. I know we've got a transfer question that's coming in too. So if you want to go ahead and send that, we would be happy to answer that as well. But we are out in the area so that we can get to know you and your family and be available to help you decide if Northern is the right fit for you. So I'm going to give it one more minute and see if our transfer question comes through. And if not, we will go ahead and get back to you. All right. So the question is, when is orientation for summer 2021? So I will go ahead and answer this. Generally, our students come to orientation during the summer if they're starting in August. We run orientation throughout the summer at different times, but those are for our students that start in August. If you're planning to truly be a summer student, that would mean that you would start in May. And in that case, the orientation generally takes place in April. If you are coming for either the winter, which would be January, or if you're looking at coming and starting in May, if you are a transfer student, everything would be done online for you in terms of orientation. If you're a first-year student, they'd have you come a few days early. We do feel like orientation is just a really valuable time for you to get that experience. So for our students that are looking at coming for the second semester this year, those students are currently going to be signing up in a couple of weeks now for their orientation and their housing and things. So, and again, the questions come up, I applied and got admitted for the summer, should I apply for the fall? That's really up to you. To be honest with you, I think a lot of students do start in August, which we consider the fall. It's just an easier time to get started because so many other students are doing it. In the summer, we do have limited classes available, so it's a little bit harder to get acclimated, but I will make sure that we reach out and talk that through with you one-on-one, and we can see what the best fit is for you, but we're really flexible with that kind of thing. We want whatever is going to fit you best and what's going to be best for your education, and we will work with you to make that happen. Sarah, if you want to wrap us up, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think that's all I pretty much had. Just again, thank you guys for joining us and taking an hour out of your evening. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at any point to either Allison or I. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for joining. There will be a quick survey after you close the window when you leave the visits. A 4-question survey will appear. Please make sure that you fill that out and definitely sign up for more sessions and watch for the recording of this session on the IACAC website. And for now, that's all we have. Thank you very much.